So you're probably wondering what the hell is that guy doing with that fox mask on? I shaved my goatee and it's making me feel super self-conscious, so I'm just gonna go with this today. Hey everybody, it's Friday and I'm just gonna dive into this cool class that I've been taking, Alan Moore's Maestro class on the BBC. It's been fabulous. The section that I'm going to be talking about today is called structure. And that's the shape and composition of your story. It is not the plot. Okay? Now, the best place to practice your structure is in a short story. And you'll have to do all the things you do in your first novel. That's introduce the characters, introduce your drama, resolve it. And it's a great way to begin your writing career, according to Alan Moore. It's the only way to start your career. This kind of falls in line with what Neil Gaiman says in his master class about the importance of writing short stories when starting out, because it's going to give you a chance to really hone in on structure, play with it in a very tight, concise time frame. So it'll take you about a week if you're really good to finish that short story. I personally am not there. I think I need to do more planning and coming up with the end first before I can get the whole structure in, but I'm getting better at planning rather than pantsing. And I owe a lot of that to just practicing in short story format. By short story, I mean under 3,000 words. And what's going to happen, okay, there's a few structures that we're going to look at today. We have the classical 3-act structure, right? Beginning, middle, end. So here we are, we're going to ramp things up. Then we're going to get into the conflict starting to build, and then finally the dark night and the shit hits the fan. There's some interesting ways that you can create the structure. I guess Sid Field did this thing with screenplays where you jot down your scenes on library cards and then you rearrange them, right? So you're trying to think of what the scenes in your book are, where maybe your hero meets his mentor, or the denial of the hero's journey, like I just want to stay here where it's all comfortable, the dark night of the soul, the fun and games section, and you just kind of rearrange those now, so that they are in the structure that you want them to be in. Now, if you're familiar with Save the Cat, right, Blake Schneider, it's in a movie, he says that the structure is always the same, right? That for a hit movie, if you want this to be a success, it has to follow a certain number of beats. Well, as an author in a story, you're going to step outside of that realm and try some different things. Okay? Remembering again that plot is not the story and it's not the structure. It's just the plot that gets you from from point A to point B, right? So the plot gets you from here to there, and that's it. Let's see. There's some things that other structures he talks about. The flashback, for example. In the flashback, right, very overused in movies. You might want to stay away from it if you're into trying some different things, right? The whole point is just to keep people's interest and tell the story. One of my favorite movies of all time is Rashomon. It's a Akira Kurosawa movie. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. If you've seen Courage Under Fire, then you've seen the American version of that story. Essentially, it's a detective story where it's told from 3 people's points of view, and each one of them is different. right? You don't know who's telling the truth. You're trying to see what the common ground is between them, and it's a great story. It's been very extremely influential. According to Alan Moore, if you haven't seen Gene Hackman's The Conversation, you got to watch this. So that's now on my watch list. And you can do anything you want in a story, but you need to have a structure and a skeleton, right? So by the end of the first third of the book, you want to have, or story, you want to have established characters and essential situations so that people think they know what's going to happen. Then the middle section, you want to have them going in a totally different place that is completely reversed the reader's expectations towards a new and unexpected climax. One of the additional structures that Alan Moore talks about is the epistolary narrative, like the kind you would find in Dracula, where it's letters and diary extracts that are telling the story, right? It's a great tale if you haven't heard it. The audiobook's fantastic. Also, a really funny kind of idea is a story told as an intrusive questionnaire. So this guy, John Sladek, haven't read the story. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Has this form called the Universal Anxiety Register. And it's basically the form becomes more and more intrusive as the story goes along. So what's your name? Where do you live? What's your address? What did you eat last night for dinner? Who did you sleep with? I haven't seen it, but it looks like it would be really interesting because I know that a lot of people feel that those questionnaires that you have to fill out online are just so intrusive. Anyhow, you are crafting the shape of the story because you want to leave a particular impression in the mind of your reader, and the shape of your story is going to leave that mark. I hope you've kind of enjoyed this brief recap of Alan Moore's structure module for his BBC Maestro course. It's super awesome, and I hope you have a great Friday. Thanks.